podcast by two exes who are besties. Because who better to help you clean up your life problems than someone who dumped you in the past? Join us as we go through life changes and figure out how to
Wait, can we
navigate.
start over? We gotta start over.
Okay. Welcome to my best ex.
Wait, you have to say action. Wait, hold on.
Oh my God. What are you What is all that sound? What are you doing? Are you ready? Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? God. What's this a mistake? Okay,
Okay.
are you ready?
Wait, I thought I was saying the first part. Because
It
who
has
better to help you clean up your life? Oh, that's you.
Okay. All right.
Wait, hold on. I really have to get myself together. Hold on.
I see. What are you doing?
Well, this is when I get like, when it's, I told you, I get like this when it's like being seen.
Okay, this will be audio only. Can we start? I'm starting, okay? Give me a thumbs up so I know
But
it's okay.
wait, we're just like, we're not playing to the camera, right? We're just like,
No. No.
it's just on.
Yes. Correct.
But we're just like
Oh my word.
talking.
Yes.
Okay, just so you know, sometimes when I try to look at the chat, I can't scroll up or down. So that's
Okay.
okay. Wait, hold on one second. Okay, I am excited. Wait, let's just say we're not started yet. This is the first day of our new podcast. Glow, I'm waiting for you.
What do you want me to do?
Well, this is like spiritual, a spiritual moment. All right.
Yes. Yes.
It's the first day of our new podcast together. Our first episode. May it be ease and grace and joy. Thank you for putting the idea into Gloria's head. Amen.
Amen.
What are you looking at over there?
Can we start?
Okay. I'm pumped.
All right, you say action and then we'll go.
And action.
Welcome to My Best Ex, a podcast by two exes who are besties. Because who better to help you clean up your life problems than someone who dumped you in the past?
That's right.
Join us as we go through life changes and figure them out together.
That's us figuring it out together.
Yes.
So I'm Zina, and I am a playwright turned television writer turned feature writer. I'm a Capricorn with
Right.
I believe it's a Scorpio rising and a
No, I'm
Cancer moon.
You're not a Scorpio rising, are you?
Yeah, Scorpio rising, Cancer moon.
Wow. Didn't I just learn something?
Huh?
Didn't I just learn something?
Yeah, and Enneagram 6, for those of you who follow Enneagram. That's an ancient, I believe it's like some kind of ancient kind of personality thing that like is older than astrology. That goes back to like the Egyptians and the pyramids or something.
I don't think anyone follows this, but maybe they'll look it up. Okay.
Lesbians do. So it's a number system, and each number is like a different personality trait. It's great. I'm a 4.
Lesbian, okay, you're a 4. If you are a lesbian listening to this, please let me know whether or not you follow this, like she says, because
Enneagram. It's numbered 1 through 9, and each one is a different thing. So the 4 is like needs to feel special. Like that's our like thing that we need in life. And then like you're a 6, because I remember sending you this before. And a 6 is often scared a lot and tends to be like either OCD or germaphobe or something like that. But they also are like peacekeepers, I think.
Well, all of that does check. That checks, right? So, okay, I'm Gloria. I am a stand-up comic and writer and dog mom. I am a Libra with a Scorpio rising. I did not know we had that in common. 20 years in your life, I did not know you were Scorpio rising, and my moon is in Leo. And
Wow.
apparently, my Enneagram is a 6. Well,
You're
there
6.
you go. I'm a 6.
I'm a dog mom too.
Yes, you're a lesbian. It's kind of par for the course.
Assumed. You know, not all relationships are meant to be forever. You know, there's that cliche that you always hear about people being in your life for a reason, a season, a lifetime. And, you know, although I'm sick of seeing it on the side of travel mugs and on wall calendars, it does have some truth to it. Reason, season, or lifetime. And some people just need to be put in the past and to stay there.
They need to stay right on back there. others can have been a part of your past, but then transition into something totally different and become worthy of being a part of your future. That's what's happened in our case. And sometimes it's awkward and awkward conversations and painful truth bombs, but also shared humor and undeniable support. And many, many moons ago, we were girlfriends. And now we get to bother each other with the minutia of our lives of being best friends.
But before we get into that, I just have a question. Can we just, last night we had a rehearsal for this
Okay.
and we had our first podcast fight, like before this series even started. And can we just start there? Can that be the first thing we talk about? Because, couples fight, but friends also fight. And we've been friends for 20 years now, right? And we had our first fight. And so basically, it was about the sound in doing the podcast. We were trying to set up the sound.
Yeah.
And I had my headphones on, and your sound wasn't working. I couldn't hear you. But you
Uh-huh.
were over there getting mad at me because I had headphones on. You thought the headphones were messing with the sound.
I
And
just
you
knew it
got real
was your
upset. You kept
headphones.
going,
I just knew it was your headphones because I just knew you were having technological difficulties. I just knew
mm-hmm.
it.
You knew it was me having the technological difficulties, like
Yeah.
for certain.
Oh, yeah, I would have bet money on it. I would have bet money on it. And come to find out, it was absolutely me, and I had muted my microphone.
Yeah. I
But
said, do you see
also,
the little red light? And you said, what red light?
yeah,
The
yeah,
one that is on your microphone.
yep, yep, yep. Well, some people are consistent, and I consistently find the wrong in others and not myself. All of that should be no surprise to you that I would have thought that it was your issue.
Yes.
And should people really be friends with their exes? And is that only a queer thing?
Well, to answer the first part of the question, I think in terms of can and should people really be friends with their exes, I think the should is up to your own discretion and what's best for your healing, mental health, and sense of self.
Yeah,
Because in our case, it took 10 years between breaking up and becoming best friends. That's a long time, a
yeah,
decade between.
yeah,
So, I mean, I don't think that it's something that can just boom happen in a week or even a month. You know, that seems really quick because there can't be much that changes in a week or a month or even a year. Folks need to do their work before coming back to the table and trying to have a different kind of relationship.
yeah, I agree with that. I saw this survey though that said only 17% of people remain friends with their exes. Are those lesbians? Because wait a minute, because I know many of the lesbians I know remain friends with their exes. As a matter of fact, I don't trust a lesbian if she does not have a best friend or a friend, a close friend
Who's
as
an
an ex.
ex?
I don't trust it.
Mm.
I don't trust it.
More with my friends that are queer as opposed to my friends that are straight, and it's interesting. Like why is it more prevalent amongst the queer community than the straight community?
Part of that is because as queer people, we often adopt our exes and the people in our lives as family and they become family. And I think we don't just get rid of family just because the relationship aspect of things did not work out.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
Have you?
That's right. But I think we should explain to the listeners. Okay, but how did we get here? How did we get here to where we are today, you and I?
Okay, so
Questions like how did we meet? People might want to know how did we meet.
yes. So what do you remember about us meeting?
Ooh. Okay, so I remember that it was a snowy night. It was cold. It was during the
There was
winter.
no snow. There was no snow. It was the fall. It was no
No, it
snow.
was winter. It's like December, late
No,
December or January.
no, no, it was not. It was August.
It was a snowy night.
Okay.
Flurries were falling in Harlem.
Oh, oh my God. This is the writer speaking. This
We
is not.
had we had a mutual friend
That's true.
that I went to grad school with and you went to undergrad with,
Correct.
and he had a party.
His name is Yusef. He's
And
like a
mhm,
James Baldwin type.
mhm. And he had been telling me that he had this friend that I had to meet named Glow,
Hmm.
who was funny and charismatic and all these things.
Oh,
And he had been saying, you have to meet this person and she'll be at my party. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I went to the party, and I remember we played this like group card game where we were all sitting in a circle, and I remember you were in that circle, and you were like funny and saying things, and yeah, that's what I remember.
Okay. So we definitely don't have the seasons right. This was definitely in the fall because it was shortly after I moved to New York. Was it you? I agree with you on Yusef's place. I agree with you on the card game.
It
It was
was
a high
snowing,
low.
and it was flurries. I
No,
remember flurries.
let me. Okay. That's a different. Okay. You guys, there were no flurries. It was happening in the fall. I'd gone to a Michelle and Dagier cello concert. I probably have that ticket stub sitting around here somewhere. Anyway, so we met. The high low game was the thing at the party that was we gave everybody a card, and the person with the lowest card or the person with the highest card could ask the person with the lowest card any question. That was the game that we were playing. So what I remember about that night is that I was cracking jokes,
Hmm.
that tracks, and then you said to me, "Have you ever thought about being a stand-up comic?" To which
No, that
I
wasn't till later in our relationship.
no, Zena, this was at that party, and I'm going to tell you how I know. One, I journaled about it and kept it. And then I said to you at the party, I was like, no, this is so obnoxious, but I was like, I'm a classically trained actor. And then you laughed thinking that I was making a joke again.
Hmm.
And then we talked and I was like, well, I don't know how to become a comic. And you said, write about everything that makes you mad. That
That's
was
smart.
like,
Okay, that's good
that was
advice
the
back
first,
then.
I
Okay.
know, I know
Yeah.
exactly. So that is my recollection of how we met.
So leaves instead of flurries, probably falling leaves and getting the leaves mixed up with snow.
Something was falling.
Something was definitely falling. Okay. And that was when I said you should be a stand-up comic.
Yeah.
Because in my brain it was always later, like into our relationship that conversation
No,
happened.
because we met at Joe's coffee shop because I was
Oh, I
temping
used
at
to
a
work at
joke.
Joe's.
I know.
Yeah.
And those Amy Sedaris cupcakes that had the filling inside. Anyway, the things that you remember. So we later on met at Joe's Coffee and I read to you everything that I wrote. And you said, you're a comic.
That's great. I love
Yeah.
that version of me. Where did she go? I love her. My
Yeah, she's
gosh.
great.
Okay.
She's great. She started my love for stand-up comedy in my career.
It's amazing. See, you never know why people are going to come into your lives. Reason, season, or lifetime. It may be on a corny travel mug, but it's real. It's important.
Yep.
Reason, season, lifetime.
And I think this friendship ended up being all three of those because the reason it introduced me to becoming a stand-up,
Mhm.
the season, our time in New York,
Yep.
and then now it's a lifetime. All right. So
Amazing.
how long so you said earlier that it took us about we've known each other for 20 over 20 years,
Hmm.
by the way, like in our 20s, in our 30s, in our 40s, and now in our 50s. What?
I am still in my 40s. Thank
We're
you,
not
ma'am.
we're
Thank
not
you. I'm 48 years old. Please let me have the last 2 years to
you're,
be in
you're
my 40s in
49.
peace. Thank you.
You're
Okay.
49.
Class of 94. Let's go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right. But the question is, how long between the time we broke up and the time we became best friends? Like, how much time passed? And that's where I was saying earlier, like, if this is possible to be best friends with your ex, how much time do you need between the time of breakup and the time where you kind of start building a friendship again? Of course, that's going to be different for every relationship. But
Right.
for us, it was a decade, a
Yeah.
decade. So I feel like that says a lot. 10 years, that's a long time. And I think that it took 10 years because each of us had to, or I can only speak for myself, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work so that you can come back around as, you know, an improved version of yourself.
I gotta tell you, even saying things like I can only speak for myself is saying to me that you have done some work because you're not trying to put your experience on me. You're speaking from your own experience.
Well,
I tell
thank
you,
you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
yeah, you're
And you
welcome.
know what? And also, what's great, it's like it takes a person who's known you this long to see and validate that you've done some work. Because sometimes we're like, have I done any work? I feel like I've done some, but maybe it didn't work. Maybe the work didn't work. And then when you have someone who really knows you saying, oh my God, you've done some work, like that's like the most validating thing,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it takes that. And then also,
which is part of what makes you a good friend. you know?
For sure. Well, good friends, I feel like number one, they know where the skeletons are.
Mhm.
Okay. They know where the pain points are, but they also want what's best for you.
Yes.
And I think that's also been a part of our friendship that is something that I value because I know that you do want what's best for me,
Yes.
even if you got to tell me the hard truths around it.
Oh yeah. Like you'll call me out on my shit. Like I have other friends and they're great too, but a lot of times they tend to just kind of go along with whatever I'm saying, or like instigate with me, like, ooh, yeah, ooh, I would feel that way too. Ooh, that sucks. But I find that when we talk, it's like, well, no, wait a minute. Have you seen it this way? Maybe you can look at it this way, or I don't know. It's like you won't just automatically go along with what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
will kind of challenge me to think about things differently, right? And I think that we both kind of are helping the person grow into the best version that they can be in this friendship. We're pushing each other to grow, not just stay stagnant or stay the same or be in our same bullshit all the time.
I mean, that's a gift if there ever was one, right?
Hmm.
Well,
The
how did
gifts. Speaking of gifts, a
speaking of gifts,
holiday just passed. Well, kind of. To some people, it's a holiday.
God,
Feels like a
really?
holiday. It's not really a holiday, but it's a holiday for lovers. Love a holiday.
Yes, Valentine's Day. How was your times?
Times. Where did that come from? Why did we say times?
That was like part of our just ridiculous language we had back in the day. Yeah.
Times.
How was your times?
It was great. I had a good time. So it was fun because we took this thing that we saw on Instagram
Hmm.
where I think it was two friends actually. I don't remember. I think it was just two friends who did it or sisters or something. I don't know. But they went to a thrift store and one closed their eyes and like put their hand up on the rack while the other said go, and then the person walked with their blindfolded with their eyes closed down the rack and then picked out an item of clothing. I mean, and then the person would say stop, and whatever item of clothing that other person's hand was on, that's what they had to wear. They had to buy that item. And so we basically did that. And I ended up with some like crazy like 1980s like looking blazer and turtleneck and some crazy like 1985 men's office pants. And she had on like some, I don't even know if it was like some weird kind of like Americanized version of a kimono with some like
Wait,
leather, with
wait,
some like,
can I
with
ask a
some like, huh?
can I ask a quick question? So you went to where did you go to find these things?
So we went to the Goodwill. We
Okay,
went to the Goodwill.
so you went to the Goodwill.
Yeah.
You did this exercise, you pull the things, and then you put the clothes directly on your body?
No, no, no. We pulled the item out, opened our eyes, laughed because it was ridiculous, and we knew we were going to have to wear it, and then paid for the items, which were like $5 each. Left the store, went home, cooked dinner. We made this great dinner.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She
Uh-huh.
cooks really well.
Get to the point.
Most of the
When
time,
when did
my
you wash
specialty
them?
is salmon, so I made salmon.
Hold on. When did you wash these clothes that you got from the thrift store?
Well, we
You
washed
talking
them in our
about
minds. Like we didn't really actually wash them. We just kind of like blessed them and said, please don't have anything gross or dirty because we're just going to wear this like a costume for 2 hours and then never wear them again.
so I could just bless my laundry and put it back on?
I mean, depends on
You
your
know
belief
you sound
system.
crazy. My belief system
Hmm.
says that you need to wash clothes from the Goodwill.
Yeah. Mine usually would if it was an item that I was going to like actually like keep and maintain, but it was like a costume. It was like putting on a Halloween costume like for 2 hours.
And touching your skin. Okay. All right.
Well, the
Okay.
pants were really big, so they didn't really touch my skin. And then the one was a blazer that I had a turtleneck of mine under, so it didn't touch my skin.
Okay. I like that there was a turtleneck.
Yeah, which was mine.
Yeah.
So it was ridiculous. We just walked down to this little place that was playing like jazz and like had a couple drinks and chatted and just hung out in our costumes and didn't
Costume.
care what other people thought about us looking crazy. It was fun. We just looked
That's
crazy.
cute. I think the idea is very cute. The germs of it concern me, but
Well,
I
you're an Enneagram 6, so you would say that.
yes, exactly. So, but very cute.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you? Tell me about did you have a Galentine?
You know, Valentine's Day, it's my first Valentine's Day as a single lady. I was very worried about it, but the day kind of came and went. I went to my day job at the school. Kids gave me small little trinkets with their germy hands. And
That
then
you ended up not eating.
definitely not eating. And then I came home and Nina Rose had sent me this giant bouquet of white roses that were like the bouquet was bigger than my head and it was huge. And then she sent me all of these delectable treats that are gluten free and dairy free. And so I had that. And then my mom cooked dinner, salmon, like you, hmm and some broccolini. That's one of my favorite foods. And yeah, so it was just like that. And then it came and went. I came back to my house after having dinner with my mom. I watched Younger on Netflix, and then the day was over.
That sounds like a lovely Valentine's, Galentine's with your mom, and then Galentine's because Nina Rose sent you white roses, which is lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that I have a lot of catching up to do. Like that was amazing. Like I mean, I'm just saying, like, she
Yeah.
tends to
She's
be,
just my other best friend. She's
yeah,
just, yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, I didn't send anything.
You send me thoughts and prayers.
She's lovely. I love Lena Rose. She's a wonderful person, but I'm your black best friend.
Okay. We're not, okay. Just some people just have more than one best friend. One's name starts with a Z, the other one starts with an N, both Inas.
And if you turn an N, it's a Z.
I have two great Inas in my life.
February is Black History Month. And for those of you who can't see us, we are both of color.
I'm not of color, I'm black. I go by black.
I go by black too. I'm just saying, like, people of color.
No, no, I don't go by of color. I go by black.
Okay, black. We're both. I go by black, even though I'm biracial. I consider myself black. I've never identified as biracial. I identify as black. That's a whole other story. But yeah, I back in the day when I was a kid and we had to take those standardized tests, and it would be black, white, or other. I would always fill in with pencil black. Yeah. Um, so yeah, Valentine's Day was great. It sounds like we had very different Valentine's days, but both fun and both filled with love and people who love us and all that
Yeah,
good stuff, which is important. Next year, I'll send you 24 2 dozen white roses.
I'm good. Good, no
No,
worries.
but I won't send them to you. Someone else will send them to you because
Like who?
hopefully next year you'll be booed up,
No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
maybe, or just dating or something.
I think I'm good. I don't need to be booed up or dating. I'm chilling solo.
No, I like that. I like that kind of like I'm good on my own. I'm good on my own. I got this. I like that. I like that's important. I'm just saying. I just like I can't help but like because we're best friends, best exes. I can't help but like see people that I think would be great for you. Often I see people. I'm like, oh, she'd be perfect
Where?
for a glow,
Where are you seeing people?
like on TV and stuff.
Okay. That's not real.
No, like
Real.
I was watching the Gabby Petito, I think that's her name, documentary. That terrible documentary about that little blonde girl who's very sweet, very pretty, very kind. And anyway, the boyfriend did it. Surprise, surprise.
Always the
Right?
boyfriend. Always.
But there was this detective that was like on the case, this FBI agent or something. And as soon as she came on the screen, I was like, oh my God, that is Glow's 100% type. And everything about her screamed she'd be perfect for you. That's
A
all I'm saying.
detective?
An FBI agent.
Oh God, no. Oh, definitely not.
No, you would
Absolutely
have
not.
been, she's totally your type. Like you would have
No,
been like, oh,
if you date a detective or an FBI agent, you're going to be under investigation your entire relationship. They're going to be putting clues together, building a case, looking through your stuff. No, I can't date that. I
I
can't
feel
date
like that's a stereotype of an FBI agent. Like I feel
some
like,
stereotypes have truth to them, like
yeah,
that
but
one.
if I was an FBI agent and I'm like, for work, I'm always at work solving the case. When I come home, when I walk through that front door and I see my partner and my dog, and if I have any kids, I want to turn that part of me off as soon as I walk in the door. And so my personal life is like my time to like let all that go and just like be in another space.
Do y'all think that's the case? I don't know. I think you can definitely tell how people are going to be in a relationship by what they do for their jobs. Like, I don't know. I can't date
Really?
somebody that's going to be investigating me all the time. So, thank you.
Saying if I can get her phone number, I just would like you to be open to it. That's all I'm saying. Like if I can figure out who this woman is and try to find her on social media, I'm getting. And she's single because we don't know. She could be partnered up. I don't know if she's booed up, but
I'm sure she is partnered
I
up
feel like
with
there's a
boys.
lot of lesbians looking her up right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Like she's. I feel like a lot of lesbians are looking her up, but I think that she'd be perfect for you. I feel
I'm
like you
sure
guys would.
she's
You
partnered
guys
up.
would be
I
a good
think,
balance. Do you know what I mean? She
yeah,
might be like the uptight one who's a little bit, and you're like the funny, loosey goosey, fun one, and you guys would like have you bring her out of her shell and like
okay, all
she'd
right.
like I don't know what she'd do, but
That lady is probably partnered up going through her partner's phone every day. So, no, thank
no,
you.
okay,
No, thank you.
whatever.
I will say,
We're gonna find it. This I was met someone at another event, like a real person at an event,
you
and I
can
was like,
stop.
she's perfect because she's light skinned with big afro, and
Okay,
so I
all
was
right,
like,
all right, all right.
she's her type, but I can't. I think she had a girlfriend. I don't know, but I thought she'd be perfect for you. And then who
Okay.
else?
No, no, no.
Someone
Let's stop.
else.
Can we stop? We don't need to, like, I don't, I definitely don't need you setting me up.
Well, there was a nun, but she was a nun. But I was like, if she wasn't a nun, she would be perfect for Glow. She was amazing. She was cute. She was a cute nun, but she was a
Oh,
nun. So if
yes.
she wasn't a nun, I would get her number for you because she was perfect for you, Glow. Perfect.
Well, it sounds like to me that the pickings are slim out there. It seems like I should just continue listening to Cleo's Soul and taking gummies and
Oh my
live my life.
god.
All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on from this crazy.
So not only is it the month of love, it is also Black History Month, and who better to celebrate Black History Month than two Black lesbians, right? Who are
Yeah.
Black and
Okay.
celebrate Black History Month. And so let's just talk about like what we did to celebrate this. Even though we're not supposed to celebrate Black History Month apparently anymore, we are still doing it and doing it strong. So, what did you do to celebrate this year, Glo?
Wow. I don't know that I specifically did anything but try to live my best Black life. I guess if I had to think about something that I've done, I've been active in volunteering in Altadena and been very deliberate about where I put my energy and dollars when I look at what's going on with the fires. So, yeah, I've been volunteering in Altadena and I've been intentional about making donations to people in Altadena who were impacted by the fires.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I feel like I didn't do anything like as intentionally as that. That kind of like fell into my lap. I remember last year was good because we, um, the girls and we celebrated Black History Month by just like picking them up from school and we got some Popeyes and we went back to the house and listened
Wait,
to
I'm
like
sorry.
records by black.
Not to yuck your yum, but did you just say you were celebrating Black History Month by getting some Popeyes?
Well, that's not how we no like soul food. It just like soul food. Like we just got like
That's not soul
I
food.
know it's not like soul food like put your foot in it, auntie put her foot in the greens, but like I was new to the area. I didn't know where any real soul food restaurants were around us. And so I saw Popeyes and I knew they had mac and cheese, I knew they had greens, and I knew they had fried chicken. So we stopped in the drive-thru. It was a quick way to just get, like fast food, soul food. And we came home and we listened to like black artists, like
Okay,
music, like
that
jazz
all
and
right,
R and
all
B,
right.
and we talked about like, certain things about Black history and
Okay, that I'm
being
with.
black and all of those things. We watched a movie. I think we watched a documentary of some sort that was featuring, a black political issue. And so we did all that. We did all that, yes, while eating Popeyes, but I don't think it's fair to say that like that was eating the Popeyes was bad. It wasn't like
Well, I'm not going to say that it's good,
I mean, we
but
didn't have I mean, I can't cook like that. So if I could cook like that, I would have just like done it myself.
right. I think next time you tell this story, just leave off the Popeyes. Just talk about the documentaries, talk about listening to the music. You don't have to throw the Popeyes in there. You know, I have a chicken sensitivity as it is. And so, yeah. You know what else that I kind of didn't realize I was doing? I watched the Sly and the Family Stone documentary.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a thing with these friends where we do docs and mocks, where we watch documentaries and have mocktails, and
Mm-hmm.
that was
Oh, that's
another
nice.
part of our Black History
Aw.
celebration, doing the Sly and the Family Stone. So I'm going to keep celebrating it regardless of what the federal government is doing.
What?
We have 8 more days, so we could still have a
Yeah.
strong ending, a strong finish
Go
to
out
it.
strong.
There's
Yeah.
still plenty to do. I would recommend, if people haven't watched the documentary on Luther Vandross, I
Oh
would
wow,
say
that was so good.
watch that as well. Watch the Sly and the Family Stone doc, and those are really delightful and good watches. Yeah. All right. Well, our time is coming to an end.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah. It was fast, quick, painless, relatively.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that this has been good. It's been a pleasure sharing this time with you and just getting to share with people for the first time, like about our journey, how we went from breaking up and being exes to, you know, becoming best friends. And I think life is change, right? And you can't have change, you can't have life without change. And it's how we adjust to the change. That's what's up to us. So some things we let go and it becomes a part of our past, and others metamorphosize like a butterfly, right? Surprising us
Wow.
by the beauty.
Okay, writer.
Yeah.
Okay, writer.
Surprising us by the beauty of becoming something completely new. And that's what I feel like happened with us, right? I mean, at the time of our breakup, we were never thinking, oh, this is going to be my best friend in the future, and we're going to read each
Yeah.
other's scripts, and we're going to help each other through tumultuous times, and we're going to have each other to lean on and become family. Like, we never thought those things. And so to get to this place and like have each other in our lives in this way is a pleasant surprise that not everybody gets to experience. So, this podcast embraces that journey as we, as two exes, navigate the ups and downs of life and its many changes.
Well said, my friend. Join us next week when we delve into some of the things in our life that are changing and how we deal with the stress that comes along with that.
Oof, I
All
can
right.
name a couple right now, but I'll wait till next week.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.